Headquarters was actually a map that when it came out, this was the last map that I Iphonik added to the game. I liked it. I thought it was very cool. Different locations. I thought Iphonik was actually creative when they made this map, you know. I enjoyed it the first times that I played it, but then as I started to play it a little bit more, not just in private games, but in public games, I started to see the issues. I never suffered much with the FPS, which was something that people complain about this map, that this map was very terrible in regards to FPS, the performance was terrible, but this also was improved in the October's update, as well as the performance in all the maps in the game. However, I think that the main issues with this map relies on the same thing that I mentioned in the other ones, which is like the map's too big. Reminds me a little bit of Backwater, but then imagine like also because it has a lot of water areas, there's the river here, whatever, but imagine Backwater with default ammo crates and worse camps and just like more rocks, more like you have like to go up and down in some locations, then more glitched spots in which to fire. I think actually there's a spot there which I saw Predators even high there, so it's a very buggy map. Worse FPS than the other maps, more bugs, more issues, like people could like glitch inside a rock here or something. I saw Predator do this once because he didn't want me to kill him, so he just glitched inside the rock and I couldn't do anything. I'm like, okay, whatever, people be weird in this game. But then the size, just like Backwater, it gets in the way because sometimes it takes longer for you to reach the fireteam, to predict the missions that they're going to, because there are like more options sometimes to which camp they're gonna go. In which here we have the south camp, the beach camp here, which is like middle camp. Then there's the camp at at east. Then there's the headquarters at at northeast, and then there's the camp at north. I call it an Ewok, you know, from the Star Wars, the little teddy bears from Star Wars 6, the Return of the Jedi, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So the camp there. And overall, the beach house I think is one of the best camps to fight the fireteam. However, the missions here, if the missions start here, they tend to be very short. It has quite of a mixture of different missions. Some missions are very short, are very easy to do. There are some very annoying missions for the fireteam in this map. And one might think, oh, that's actually good. Sure, it's very, very annoying for the fireteam to do it. However, the map is overall so bad for the Predator that even though the missions are harder for the fireteam, if they get one of those hard missions, the Predator might take advantage of it. However, because of the limitations that this map has for the Predator, the fireteam can still deal with it. It's just going to be more annoying. Like, even for the fireteam, when I play this map as the fireteam, sometimes I even quit in the lobby because I don't want to play it. First, because of the size of the map, and especially like night maps, new Predator players, they can't even find the fireteam. Like, a lot of times, they can't find me. So I'm just going to be doing the mission. There is no engagement with the Predator. Other parts, some missions are just very long and boring. It's just like boring. Like really, you have to go like so many locations. Since the map is bigger, it takes a little bit more work to do some of the missions. Not that it's gonna be hard. It's just like kind of boring, you know. And unless the Predator is like knows that he's doing, it's like it won't really make much of a difference. It won't like really make the match hard for the fireteam. It's just more annoying, you know. This beach area here, in case the fireteam comes to the mission, they usually spawn there where I spawn it, and that means that the Predator would spawn at southeast. The best approach, in my opinion, in this map is just to run straight to the fireteam and attack them. Don't bother with trying to destroy default ammo crates or medikits. This map doesn't have as much default ammo crates, has like airstrip. However, the spawn of like the normal here is the default medikit. You can try to destroy this one if you have the chance. But I feel like normal ammo crates can spawn in this map. Like see one there. I feel like the RNG to ammo crate spawning is a little bit higher in this map than it is for like the OG maps. Oh yeah, let's talk about the raid location. Raid location in this map, there are too many. There are like 8, I think. And because of the size of the map, they are very spread out. So another map which I don't really have a good time preventing reinforcements, because if you check one location, you can get lucky and find the raid right away. However, if it's not the case, it's gonna take too long for you to cross it. But it can be hard for certain fighting classes to also cross it. If the last fighting player going for the radio is like a support, it can be very annoying. Like this map, I usually prefer playing like scout. Like I hate playing support in this map because it's just gonna be very slow for you to be able to cross it, depending on where the mission is. Oh, this is not the actual raid, this is for the mission. Oh, this is I already know which mission this is, more or less. I mean, this is the map which I know the least about the missions. I mean, it was the last map and I barely played private games on this map, so I don't have that much experience. But this is a objective from a mission, so I already know that. But I believe this mission start at the north camp, at the Ewok houses, and then they have to come here. But it already gives you an idea. If the depending where the fireteam spawns, you already have a good idea. If the fireteam spawns there at west, they either gonna do a mission in this camp, or they're gonna go to the Ewok houses. Oh yeah, and there's a radio location which usually spawns here. The other one closest to it should probably be the one at this camp. This camp is a mess. Like usually the fireteam does the mission at the middle one, the bigger house there. You can try to get up on the other one, but look, I tried to leap on top of it. It didn't even land in the right place. You can try to shoot plasma from here, but the position is all bad. Like this is very bad for the Predator to try to get here. It's very tight. You can barely move. There's not much mobility. This camp is overall terrible. Like the fireteam is doing a mission here. Hope for the best. Like you can try to shoot like a little bit of plasma, depending on your angle, but they can easily avoid it by just using the environment. You know, you can try to use the smart disc, but I feel like it's like here in this area because of the environment. The disc can get easily stuck like in a lot of places here, so I don't feel like there's anything good. I mean, at least in the rooftops in airstrip, the smart disc can be used there very easily because it's an open area. There's no leaves blocking. There's nothing blocking the view. But here, like everything's bad. This is usually like a bad camp. Like usually you're gonna want to try to fight the fireteam before they reach such a location. There's a radio that usually spawns around here, like around the stables here. But also, I would say best camps for the Predator to fight are gonna be the south and the beach house at the west. North one is bad. Headquarters. Let's talk about headquarters. Now this one is a death trap. It's like the caves in excavation. This map is like a mixture of backwater, excavation, and airstrip. There's the cave, pretty much. Like the cave that excavation has. Like this is the equivalent. Airstrip because it has default ammo crates, which only appear on airstrip and headquarters, and the backwater is just because of the overall design and the water area, which is gonna make the Predator the cloak. So there's just like so much stuff here which puts the Predator in a bad disadvantage. Only thing that this map and maybe airstrip also have is that the spawning of the pigs is very high, so you might see like more pigs than usual, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it just allows you to Predator to heal, but it won't really help fight the fireteam. You can just like fight the fireteam, get melted, eat a pig, keep repeating the process until the fireteam finish the mission and they leave. Usually if the fireteam spawns at the north area here, like in the mountain, like around there, like between the beach house and the Ewok houses, if the fireteam spawns there, usually they're gonna go for a mission either at the beach house or the headquarters. If they go for a mission at the headquarters, there are like I believe like 3 different ones which they can do. The jammer mission, if you see, it's the jammer mission. You see like this little this noise or like jamming noise, like radio, which they're gonna have to go to the headquarters, which is a problem. There are some missions which start here and they have to go to the headquarters, or there are also some missions which start at the headquarters and they have to go here, or they have to go to the other ones. Well, to summarize the situation, if they're in a mission in the headquarters, there's not much you can do. Like really, I mean, unless they're bad players. If they're bad players, everything works. Here's a default ammo crate. If you see that they are doing the mission, I recommend destroying this right here. Always good, because you won't be able to get inside. If you get inside, the fireteam is gonna completely melt you. Some of them even camp here. They can try to take the elevator here to escape, but this inside is a death trap. The Predator cannot leap well here, he cannot dodge well. The fireteam can just melt in completely. If they are doing a mission here, you're gonna have to pretty much just wait for them to finish. And if it's like the jammer mission, I think it ends here. They're gonna go to that camp, then they're gonna go here, and the mission is over. And there is not much of a counterplay. There really isn't. Like, you just have to go and hope for the best. You can try to use the smart disc, but usually like inside buildings, the smart disc can easily get stuck in anything like around here, you know. I would say smart disc is probably the best option, because plasma, you don't have an angle. You can try to do like from the edges, but then they can just run after you and try to push you away. You cannot do like from above, like it has you holding other camps. You don't have much the advantage in the high ground, you know. You can try to shoot plasma from here, but then again, it's just like a small area which you can use plasma. So this is just overall a death trap. I would say, I think it's even worse in the caves, because at least the caves has like some areas which you can shoot from above. In here, like, there's not much. And the way that the structure of the map is, you know, all the rocks, sometimes it can be very clunky for you to move around as the Predator, you know. Just the mobility can be annoying. There's like, this is a cool design, like the elevator, the headquarters, the Ewok houses. It looks very cool. Look at the pigs. This is what I'm talking about. Like, crazy pig spawns around this map. Here I think that yeah, there's a radio location here, but I think the mission objectives are not around here. Then we go to the other camp. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the headquarters radios. There can be one here, which is a very like annoying little location. I usually suggest to go to that building and shoot plasma from there if the player is gonna be here. Or you can, I mean, if you just one, you might just jump here and try to risk it. Just if it's just like one guy, one location of radio is gonna be there. Another radio location. Oh, here's a look. This is a bad place. I can't even move as the Predator. It's just. It's like when they made headquarters, they didn't test actually the like using the Predator model on it. That's what it feels like. Other radio is gonna appear inside this building, which are like kind of close to that one. The other ones are gonna be at the, I believe, the north camp. Also here, this at night map. Oh yeah, let me show you guys something. In night maps, if you go to the, oh, I tried to leap, but he doesn't like. Look, he's not leaping. Because of the angle, I like that. Sometimes that can get in the way. If the fire team can stay up here in the headquarters, and in night maps, they can easily spot the Predator from across the map. Like you see the Predator like coming from here, you just spot him and keep sniping. So there's not much the Predator can do. Seriously, I have been like in there, like in that rock there, while I'm aiming the plasma caster laser, and I was like, I saw a Predator shooting plasma from up here, and I sniped his mask off. And I was just like sniping like crazy. So either from down there or from up here. Up here is even easier. If you're using like Recon Tracker at a night map, you can just keep spotting the Predator forever. Keep doing his sniper shots. And there's not much Predator can do. Like from down there, he cannot do much. Even from up here, if the fighting is down there, you can try to shoot plasma, sure. But the fighting can easily dodge it because it takes long for the plasma to reach their location. Like depending on how far away they are. So, like, overall here, like, a very easy map for the fighting to dominate. They have more resources, they have default ammo crates, a lot of default medikits, so it just, positioning is overall bad for the Predator. Like, the only advantage is that some missions are very annoying. They can take a while, so Predator might have some time to be able to attack the fighting, but it's not much of a, like a plus when you're just gonna keep attacking the fighting for longer, but you're still gonna keep, like, losing every single encounter. But then again, it's only if they're good. If they're bad, it doesn't really matter. The default medikit here, usually there is a radio. Like they can spawn here. Another radio location is this one. And then I think there's going to be two in this camp. This camp here is... I think this one is not that bad to engage. I would say I might even prefer this to the beach house. But the beach house, there's only one house and they usually camp there. Here, they're like different ones. You can just try to get to the different buildings to try to shoot plasma from where the fighting is. Don't go inside the buildings. Like that usually is gonna put you in a bad spot against the fire team. So don't do that. There is another default medikit there. This camp usually spawns a lot of crates. Usually they are either gonna be inside here. Oh yeah, you see? They can spawn a lot of these crates. Oh, medikit here. See? A lot of resources. About the reinforcements, I just don't have much of a good time preventing them. There's one here. Here at this camp. You can find one here and one there. I would say maybe if you really want to try to prevent the reinforcements, check first the locations where there are more than one radio location. Like you can go to this one and the headquarters. That's what I would do. I would try to check this one because then just because the RNG, there are like 2 radio locations here. So there's a higher chance of the radio being here than it could be for like the beach house. Then I go to the headquarters. Headquarter location gonna be one of the worst ones because the fighting can just cut the radio and just hide inside the building, and in there it's very bad positioning for you. Missions, like I said, can be predicted by usually the spawn location of the fighting, but it just is not as like easy to predict the missions, especially because some missions are, I don't know, for me it was harder to memorize the missions in this map. Even like after all these years, I usually have a harder time. You cannot see the objectives so well in thermal vision, you know, like unless very specific ones. Usually what I do is go by AI. If you see one of with the camp that has the most amount of AI, that's probably the one which they're gonna be doing the mission, and with the one you should probably look ammo crate. I think this one might be default, but I'm not sure. Got a lot of ammo crates. So this also bad. I would say this camp, North Camp, and the headquarters are really bad camp for the Predator. The other 2 are like mid. They're not that bad, but they're also not that good. Having to cross the map like to one location to the other can be a problem. If it's a night map, I think headquarters night map, it's just a nightmare. Oh, also the palm trees. This map, I believe it's the only one that has these palm trees. And the problem is that they block plasma. Like I don't know why, but yeah, if you try to show, like say the fighting is like there. Oh, yeah, actually from this angle it works. But let's see, the fighting is like there. These palm trees, they completely absorb the plasma to the point, let's say the fighting is like there. Actually there is actually hit it. But the palm trees can get in the way of plasma and completely take the damage, you know. The splash damage is not gonna work around these palm trees depending on the angle where the fighting is. You try to shoot it, is not gonna work. And these palm trees, I think they only appear in this map and in this camp and also the south camp, I think. This is a good spot to fight the fighting. Just stay up here and try to shoot plasma. However, they can also climb up here and they can snipe your master. I would say just try to find the fighting, let's say, spawn locations. Predator can spawn there. If the Predator spawns at south, the fighting is probably going to be at north. If the Predator spawns west, they are probably going to be at east. If the Predator spawns at north, the fighting usually tends to be at south. And it doesn't take long to cross it. I mean, despite being a big map, I feel that it doesn't take that long for the Predator to cross it, you know. But well, that's pretty much it. Overall, interesting design for a map, but in practice, it just doesn't work well.